I didn't really care about the romance. I didn't really care about the characters. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys or talking about all the books that I read in the month of May. Let's just talk about the books. So I continued reading the Kingmaker series by Sophie Lark this month, and so I started with the third book, and that is The Bully. So Dean was like the villain in the first book, and he kind of was the whole reason for like the little love triangle that was going on, and he was kind of causing some problems for our main couple in the first book. So this one is kind of like a redemption arc for him. So we follow him and his relationship with Kat, and what starts this off is that he finds Kat doing something that she definitely shouldn't have been doing, and she's like, please do not tell anyone, like please keep my secret. And he's like, you're gonna have to do some things for me. So you're gonna become my lackey. You're just gonna do everything for me. Like you're just going to do whatever I say, and you're not gonna have anything to say about it because I own you now. Like I own you. So that turns into something more, if you know what I mean. And basically that's their relationship, and there's much more to it. Like with Sophie Lark's books, there's always some action, there's some other little plot lines that are going on. But I really enjoyed this one. Definitely was my favorite in the series. I give it 4.75 stars. Okay, that was normal. I picked up the fourth book in that series, and that was The Spy. And I can't really say anything about this one because like the characters that it follows in this one is a very big secret, and it would just spoil it for anyone who plans on reading the book. But all I would say is that it's a forbidden romance, and you're just gonna have to find out more. And also I really enjoyed the action in this one, and the secret that was unraveled. I was just reading it and thinking, wow, Sophie Lark, you did a damn thing. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and I had a really good time. I gave this one 4.5 stars. Lastly, I read the last book in that series, and that is The Savage. And this one I was kind of disappointed by. This one was an add-on. I feel like I added it because of a lot of requests. And I kind of get that because the main characters that it follows are like super interesting main characters, and they seem super entertaining. And them together, like there were a lot of entertaining moments in this book. Like the very first 100 pages, I was like hooked, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm in it to win it. But I just felt like it was too long. It dragged a lot. I wasn't super invested in the couple and their relationship together, and I wasn't liking a lot of the decisions that were made with the main character. And yeah, certain moments of this book just really pissed me off, and it was just so different from the other books in this series, and I just felt it was just such a letdown. Yeah, I didn't like this one as much as the others, so I give this one 3 stars, which is kind of sad because I really enjoyed the rest of the series, but it was just a letdown. Next, I read a book on my Kindle called Sunny Disposition. This one is a hockey romance, and it follows our main characters. I don't know their names, so great for me. I read this a minute ago, but so basically our main characters, they were like online friends, and they've been like texting each other online. They like built this really like close relationship online, and they finally like built up the courage to like meet each other. And they were gonna meet each other after the main male character's like hockey game. And something happens at the hockey game, and he gets injured, and he has to like go to the hospital. He gets this accident that causes him to like loses his memory. So he's like in the hospital for a minute. So like our female main character, she kind of just like left outside the stadium, and it was like, yo, like what happened to this dude? And she kind of just felt like he stood her up. So there's like kind of miscommunication with that. And, months later, time passes, and she actually moves into the college house that he lives in with his friends, the rest of his hockey friends. And she moves into his house because, like, she's also going to, like, clean and do stuff in the house. So, it's, like, less money for her to live there, and it, like, helps her out and helps out the people that live there. So she moves in, she doesn't know that he's the guy she's been talking to online because obviously they never met in person, and he doesn't know it's her either. And he kind of like been going through his messages and like remembering the relationship that they had together, because like I said, he lost his memory. So like he didn't even know he was even close to this girl until like he had to look through his phone. So it's that whole situation of secret identity going on. Like they're still texting online during the whole time that they're living together, and then they're also getting close to each other as they're living together. So they're building a relationship in both ways. So it's very interesting. But I thought that this was like pretty cute and pretty simple and easy, and I really liked it. And I thought it was super sweet. So I gave it like 3.75 stars. I enjoyed it. Next, I went on a binging marathon and I binged all 8 books in the Zodiac Academy series. So I have books 1 and 2 physically because I bought these physically. They were just like on Amazon. They weren't like that expensive, and I was like, okay, like let me actually force myself to read this series. I read The Awakening and it definitely was a mess. Like a lot of people say, the writing is not the best. It definitely reads like a fanfic. The dialogue is like a little bit cringe. The characters say things where you're like, all right, okay, come on now. And the bullying is just kind of over the top, but just like comical at the same time. But it was so entertaining. Like after I was done this book, I immediately picked up the second book, and same thing. After I was done with this book, I immediately picked up my Kindle and I downloaded the rest of the books, and I binged all the rest of the books for like the next 2 weeks, and I devoured these books. It was just so good. All I can say is that it follows these twins, Darcy and Tori Vega, and basically they're kind of like living a rough life. They're orphaned, you know, they've been abandoned. They're just kind of like scrapping for money, and they do whatever they can to like survive basically. And one day this man shows up on their door called Lance Orion, and he's like, I'm a professor at Zodiac Academy, and you guys are the lost twins, and you guys need to come with me to, you know, get your powers awakened, and you're gonna get an inheritance. Like your parents were rulers of Solaria. Like we've been looking for you guys forever, and we thought you guys were dead, and you're not. And of course, Tori and Darcy are looking at him like,
are you crazy? Like,
what do you mean, man? And he's literally like a vampire. He's like, dude, I'm a vampire. Like he uses like his like skills on them, and they're just like, what the freak? But it isn't until like he transports them to the academy that they start to be like, okay, wow, like magic is real, this stuff is real. Once they get there, they get introduced to the 4 heirs, Darius, Seth, Max, and Caleb, trained their whole life to take the throne. So they just had it set in their mind that we're going to share the throne together as a 4. So when the Vegas are returned and everyone's like cheering and like, oh my god, the lost twins have come to rule again, they're like, absolutely not. They're not going to take our place that we've trained our whole lives for, and they just get to show up and take it. No. So they're like, we're going to make their lives absolute hell until they want to run up out of here again. So yeah, so it's a bully romance. It's a mess. It's a wild time, but it is so fun. I feel like if you don't take it too seriously, I think you would just enjoy yourself and have a great time. And that's what I did. I had a great time. So I rated the first book 3.75 stars, and I gave the others like 4 or 4.5 stars. So if you don't really like cliffhanger, this series might not be for you. But if you just want a fun time, you just don't really want to like think about anything when you read, you just want to enjoy life and just like laugh and just have a good time, I would very much suggest this series because it is so good. It is so addicting, and you get so attached to these characters. So I recommend it. I read more books on my Kindle. I read a lot of books on my Kindle this month. So I read 1 Week in Paradise. I also do not know the author of this book as well, but this one was a cute little like summer book that I think you guys can pick it up. It was very good. So it follows our main character. I think her name is Bailey, and she's like an influencer. Like she posts on Instagram and all that stuff, and she like makes her money that way. And something happens, a scandal happens to her, and she kind of is like losing her followers. And she also, you know, just broke up with her ex. So she, you know, doesn't have a boyfriend anymore. She's been off of Instagram for a while. So she's kind of just at home with her parents and just kind of having a midlife crisis. I mean, you know, she's only like in her 20s, and her parents are like, do something with your life, girl. Like, what's this Instagram thing going on? Like, where's your job? Like, do something with your life. And she gets this email and give her this vacation for this brand deal trip basically. But it's for couples. It's like at a couples resort, and they basically didn't get the memo that she no longer is in a relationship. So she's like, dang, I can't go. I don't have a boyfriend anymore. So like she's having dinner with her family, with her parents and her brother and her brother's best friend. And she's like telling them the brand deal that she got. And they're like, oh my God, you should go. Like, you should definitely go. And she's like, I can't go because it's a couples resort. And her brother is like, what are you doing? Just take my best friend, like, duh. And she's like, what? Because she thinks the best friend hates her. Like, she's like, oh my God, he's hating me all his life. I don't want to talk to him. Like, he sucks. He hates me. But the brother is just like, no, you should definitely take him. It will be fun and you get to go on this trip. You should not miss the opportunity to go on this trip. So she finally obliges and they go on the trip together. So basically they have to go on vacation and fake date and pretend to be a couple. So that's the premise behind this book. It was super cute, super fun. Just a nice relaxing read, not much into it. And it just went by super quick. And I thought it was a nice quick read to have for vacation or just like, you know, summertime in general. It just gave all those summer vibes, and I will never say no to a fake dating book, especially set on vacation. It just hits every time. So I give this book 3.75 stars. And next I read Sinners Anonymous. This one is a mafia romance. It's forbidden, all that jazz. It was slow burn. I wasn't the biggest fan of this one, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. This one's pretty popular. It's been like talked about for it's been like all over TikTok for a while now, but I finally read it. And it follows our main character, Aurora, or she goes by Rory, and she basically makes this deal to be arranged to marry this like man in the mafia, and he's like 70 years old. Like he's old, but clearly she needs to marry him for like reasons, like he is gonna help her with something that we don't know yet. And he has these 3 nephews, these 3 fine mafia men, and they are like the main like guys that follow this series, and they're all brothers, obviously. This book follows the oldest brother, Angelo, and it's the romance between him and Rory. So you got a forbidden romance because obviously that's her fiance's nephew, and something going on with that. A little bit of enemies to lovers. That's what it was like categorized as, but I didn't really see it as that. I don't know. I get disappointed every time I see a book with enemies to lovers these days. Like,
it's never enemies to lovers. Stop putting that in there.
But yeah, it was okay. It was just okay. I didn't really care about the romance. I didn't really care about the characters. I didn't really care about any of it. I just wanted to get it over with. I started reading Ruthless Boys of Zodiac, and this is another series that is set in the same world of the Zodiac Academy. Series is pretty good so far. I've only read the first 2, Dark Fae and Savage Fae. This is a reverse harem, and it follows our main character, Elise, and basically she's in a tough family situation. Like, she only really has her mom and her brother like in a tough situation, but it's even tougher now because she lost her brother. And her brother was attending Aurora Academy, which is another academy in Solaria, and he died there, and it was caused by a so-called drug overdose on a very addictive drug that is used a lot there. And she heard the news and she kind of was like, she didn't believe it, you know. She's like, I know my brother, I know he doesn't do drugs, like something shady is going on. Somebody killed him, somebody's involved in this. So she like tracks down somebody, and she tries to get information, you know, beat the information out of this guy. And he's like, it has to deal with the 4 kings that rule Aurora Academy. Like, it has to do with them. They are involved somehow. So she's like, okay, I have to enroll myself into Aurora Academy. So she changes her appearance, like she cuts off her hair and dyes it. She's like, I'm gonna get close to these 4 kings, and I'm gonna find out who's involved in my brother's death. And when I find out who was involved, I am going to wreak havoc on these people. So that's basically her plan. She wants revenge for her brother's death. She wants to take revenge out on the person that took her brother's life. So pretty interesting plot, a little bit of like a murder mystery going on, because like you get like multiple POVs. You get the POVs of like Elise and like the 4 main guys, and then you also get like a POV of her brother, of like the time leading up to his death. So it's pretty interesting. The plot is like pretty intriguing, and then you also have the romance forming between her and these 4 guys. So I'm enjoying it so far. I gave the first book 4 stars, and I gave the second book 4 stars, and right now, like I said, I'm in the middle of the 3rd book. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's kind of like the same vibe as Zodiac Academy in a sense where it's like you don't take it too seriously. Like, the writing isn't the best, but it is addicting. I don't know if I like it as much as Zodiac Academy, but I'm having a good time, and that's all that really matters. that was the end of my May reading wrap up. I read, what did I say? 16 books, I think that was. 16. I definitely probably read more than that, but I had a lot of DNFs as well. I DNF a lot of books like every month, but it was a decent reading month. I binged a whole entire series, so I'm very proud of myself for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stick around for more book videos. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.